Hello everyone, this is Babamots, and welcome I say, to another Homeworlds game commentary. Today we've got ktblu and SenetMaster, and we've seen both of these players before on the channel. I think of them as being pretty good. Their scores are relatively close together, so I'm expecting a close match that's hopefully entertaining and educational. Katie gives us a red banker, and Senet takes a yellow-green fortress with blue ship. Um, okay, unusual start from Senet. Katie trades for a little yellow first off. Does Senet take the red to try to for the faster mediums? They do. Katie builds that green, but Senet's too quick, gets the last of the little reds. Katie might want to hurry and trade their R3 for their G3 for R3 in order to make sure they don't get left out of the reds. Yeah, Senet's starting to gobble up the mediums. Katie, you better hurry. Senet moving out to a small blue star. Um, that brings the... I mean, besides the obvious that it gives them Senet more room to build reds, it does accelerate the blue economy slightly, bringing the mediums a little closer for both players. In the blue, um, Katie, what are you doing? I fear for you. Senet's cleaning up all these mediums. Katie just keeps building the yellow. Okay. Senet has to, let's see. Senet has to spread out the reds now. Katie builds medium yellow. Senet builds the last of the medium reds. It's too late. It's too late to join the reds at the medium level. Oh, unless Senet gets, Senet's taking it easy on Katie today. If Senet just charged ahead, um, variety of colors is important, but at this early stage, getting more and bigger ships is usually more important. Um, I think Senet should have spread out the reds and prepared to build the last of the mediums. Okay, Katie spreading out the yellows. If Katie can lock down the yellows, that would be strong. Senet getting some more green. Katie, I think, should definitely be building that Y2 at home instead of on the front. Because at home, Katie could trade it for a red. Yeah, and Senet, that's good to take advantage of your opponent's lack of red. Uh, it is not a... So Katie is looking at the shopping spree, builds two medium yellows and your large yellow and a large yellow for your new mothership. That's not too bad. It locks Senet out of yellows pretty effectively, except that Senet will capture one of the yellows in the colony, so they're not so locked out anymore. And Katie doesn't have a good way to get red here. I mean, Senet can take both of these mediums before Katie gets any red to do anything about it. Yeah, Senet takes one. So here, Katie can build again to overpopulate, but they'd be Katie would have a fair amount of yellow still, which is great, but they're putting a bunch of yellow back in the bank, which SenetMaster can then use to get back into this. Katie just spreading out the yellows. Okay, so they could also ignore the fact that Senet's got all this they can start using and just prepare to build the Y3. Yeah, that's an alternative approach. Let's see what they decide on. Yeah, just spreading out the yellows. So does Senet move their yellow somewhere safer? Do they try to capture some more? They could build the Y3. That's not the strangest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, knocking out several of Katie's ships. Um, yeah, good position for SenetMaster for sure here. Katie trades back in for green, but by making it this well, by trading the small, they're bringing making the little yellows even more available. There's ships of every size that Senet could choose for trading into the yellow economy, where Senet has been pretty good about keeping the reds out of reach, except for that one turn early on where Katie definitely had an opportunity to get in, but take it. Um, Katie trading. Okay, this is what Katie should have done a long time ago, I think. Except now, I think they should have traded their large for red a long time ago, but since they're doing it now, they've ended up with no yellow at their homeworld. They'll be able to build a red if Senet doesn't lock them down. Yes, the yellow, the Y2 trade is good, both because Senet needs to get back into the yellow and because, well, I probably would have done it in the colony for what it's worth, but having the Y2 makes it so Katie can't build more red without getting overpopulated. So, good choice by Senet. Katie taking the green. I think that's a good choice. Oh, what's Senet thinking? Y2 sacrifice? I don't think that. Double invasion. Okay. Yeah, Katie should be pretty reluctant to capture those, since they'd have to sacrifice their flagship to do it. Although, okay, so interesting. If Senet commits to this, if I was Katie, I would be strongly tempted to capture both of these invaders, sacrificing my mothership, because the large reds are just a couple of builds away, and I've got a G2. I can sacrifice that, bypass the mediums, and get into the reds, and I'm feeling pretty good. Let's see if Senet commits to this. No, just invading the one colony. Huh. Yeah, okay, so they want to invade the colony with a medium so they can't be captured, I guess. I'm not sure if that was worth sacrificing Senet's only medium yellow, especially since that little yellow can just run away. That looks like Senet would have been setting up for it. That was Senet's pressure. That Y2 was Senet's pressure on Katie's home for the Reds. It was their only yellow ship. And this kind of looks like Senet wanted to set up for a red shopping spree, but Senet doesn't have the bigger greens. Um, of course, if Katie builds the medium, then Senet will get to build the large, but Katie doesn't have to build the medium necessarily. I don't like that. I don't like that pick from Senet. And Katie, I think, does the right thing by just running away, keep Senet from getting the yellow capture. Okay, Senet building some blue. That's not bad. Katie doesn't have. Katie can build the medium, but then Senet gets the large. Okay, Katie wants the yellow, I think, so that they can spread out their greens. What did Senet do on their last turn? Oh, they built the blue and now they've traded it for yellow. Okay, I thought they might have traded twice in a row. No, having the medium yellow is good. Katie spreading out the greens, possibly setting up an investment for later. Senet now, yeah, good. since Senet has the Y2 to keep Katie from building red at home, Senet can safely build that medium red. Katie can't build the large. Um, oh, but then Senet's in a similar position in the greens where now there's a large green available, but Senet shouldn't take it. They'd lose their green star. But Katie is ready to build that G3. Let's see if Senet tries to block. They could trade their G1 for another color to put the large green farther out of reach, although that's just postponing the problem, and that's Senet's last green. Um, they could sacrifice their Y2 to discover that G3 as a star. Let's see what they pick. Oh, or sacrifice the G1. Okay, yeah. That's good. They sacrifice the G1 to put it back in the bank, keeping the G3 farther out of reach, and simultaneously build the R3, which could be traded for a G3 on Senet's next turn, uh, permanently fixing the problem of Katie creeping up on building a G3. And since Katie didn't clear out that G1, there's no rush to trading for the G3. So Senet might as well build another large red while they're at it. Yeah, this is pretty spooky for Katie here. Sacrificing the G2 for 2 yellow builds, good. Yep, they were able to leapfrog and get a flagship, so they could mobilize their red ship, put it somewhere more defensive, keep those colonies safer. Senet moves the yellow forward. Yeah, that R3 is ready to invade a colony now, I think. Moving the G2. So I think they were worried about this G2 getting invaded at that colony, but really, the colonies with more ships are the ones that Katie should be worried about. Um, and honestly, if they're going to open up, oh well, Senet doesn't have any green. They couldn't build the Y3, but boy, there's a lot of things to consider here. Okay, Katie, if they put the Y3 back in the bank, then Senet, I think, should be looking at discovering it as a star, both so that they control it and can more easily build it later if they want. And since Senet is so low on yellow, having a yellow star is a big blessing because they'd be able to use it to help them get around. Really, I think what Katie should be doing here is they should have sacrificed this G2 to build the Y3. I'm hoping that Katie takes this back, having moved away, seeing that Y3 in the bank. They'll say, oh yeah, I should be sacrificing the G3 to build. They could safely build that Y3 at home. And I think they'd pretty much be right back in this. Although Katie's lack of red is still going to be a bit of a handicap. Do they think to sacrifice? No. Nope, they commit to this reinforcing the colony with green. That's still a tempting invasion target for the R3, although Katie would be able to send the whole thing supernova now. But if Senet doesn't like the threat of the supernova, they just invade the other colony instead. Yeah, they're invading the other colony. Katie, I would normally sacrifice the Y1 to move the Y2 away, but maybe they've got something productive to do with the Y2 here. Okay, saving the little yellow and moving away, spreading out the other yellows. Yeah, but they're just as invulnerable to invasion there. Oh boy, sacrificing a Y3? Ooh, this looks premature to me. Katie going straight for Senet's yellow homestar. Well, Yeah, Katie doesn't have the green to finish off the other star, so this does not seem great to me. Senate now threatening one of Katie's very few green ships. Well, okay, Katie does have. Katie has two green ships. I keep writing off this one, thinking, well, surely Katie's going to sacrifice this G2 to build some large yellows at some point, but not yet. What does Katie do? Katie would like to finish off Senate's yellow star, have enough green left to. Oh, okay, okay. This isn't too bad. Um, Katie here, I think, should. But they're in a dangerous position because if Katie ever sacrifices their mothership Red to take care of this Bleb situation, then they'll lose faster than they could win, even if they knock out the yellow star. What I want to say is something like Katie sacrifices the G2 to build yellow for the overpopulation and the Y3, or maybe no, this invasion was great from SenetMaster. It it makes it hard for Katie to have any green ships when the dust settles here. I guess. Well, I don't know. Let's see what Katie picks. Sacrificing the G1 for the build into catastrophe. Okay, that cuts off Katie's opportunity to cash in on this investment, and there was another Y3 in the bank just a moment ago that Katie might have been able to get otherwise. Now Katie's just got the one. They've got the Y2. That's a very important component of finishing off the last star here. But they'll need 3 green ships, which they could potentially build one at a time very carefully here. But the minute that Katie has 2 ships in the same system, Senate can sacrifice to invade. Katie will have to sacrifice the Y2 to escape with both. If they go into Senate's home, Senate captures both. If they split up, then Katie still has no yellow and doesn't have the Y2 anymore and is going to have a tough time getting that and their greens in hand at the same time. Oh, and Senate looking at the counterattack. Yeah, Senate's knocks out the star. Yeah, Katie was sitting around with their mothership matching their home star for a long time, which was dangerous to begin with. And Senate was dominating the red. That's like a triple red flag, so to speak. Um, and Senate finally takes care of that. I was not even watching for that. What I've had my eye on is, can Katie possibly pull this out of the bag? And I think the answer is now no. Katie builds, although, well, actually, Senate doesn't have any yellow anymore. I think so Senate has to, 1, trade for yellow, 2, sacrifice the yellow to bring a mothership to bring a ship into Katie's home, and 3, capture stuff. Katie, on the other hand, needs to 1, build, 2, build again, 3, sacrifice Y2 to send greens into Senet's home, or move in the last green. I think Senet wins this. Senet trades for yellow? Yeah. Katie builds. Yeah. Senet sacrifices to invade. Okay. Pretty sure Katie's got no hope here. No, Katie wasn't quite able to pull it off. Okay, well, Katie came very close for all that. Just a couple of turns off from finishing off Senet's other star. Very good effort from both players. Few little mistakes. Um, I think the biggest one that's stuck in my mind was that first spot where Senet could have taken the last medium red, but instead left it in the bank. Katie wasn't able to get into the reds firmly anyway, and ultimately, I think that was Katie's downfall. Was that they left their only red ship was also their mothership, and it matched the color of one of their home stars. That's just too many red flags. Um, anyway, thanks to both of these guys for a fun game to watch, and thank you for watching.